Are you bored Sunday nights just like everybody else, waiting for The Walking Dead to come back on? Well, don't be. West Coast Wrestling Connection has got the cure. Come on down to Salem and see what they got in store for you. I'm Chris Helix, and in case you didn't know, you are watching Future Wrestling Observer. On Sunday night, I decided to get up off my ass and go down and see WCWC Wrestling in Salem, Oregon. And if you didn't, you missed out. It was a packed show, and there was 2 title matches, and on top of that, 2 former WWE superstars squared off in the ring. So if you want to know what happened on WCWC Wrestling's January 5th event, come, sit, stay a while, and enjoy Future Wrestling Observer. It's time for a little 2-on-1 handicap match. The Hippies took on Jeremy Blanchard, and amazingly, the Hippies end up winning. I thought there was no way the Hippies would win this one, with Jeremy Blanchard being like twice their size, even if you put those 2 together. Frankly, I didn't really care. I was hoping Jeremy Blanchard would win because I don't really like the Hippies. I think it's a stupid gimmick, and I even hate their freaking entrance song. But no matter what, it was a good, solid 2-star match. It's time to make every fashion designer hate me. The Louis Vuitton Don, Ashton Vuitton, takes on the newcomer to WCWC called Big Something. All I remember is he's from Philadelphia, so we were making a bunch of cheesesteak references and hoping he would be Extreme, because since it is the city of Extreme where ECW was born. I mean, I even tried to figure out his name from Marty Lipschitz, and Marty Lipschitz was like, I don't know who he is, he's a nobody. But I even asked him, the big something or other, what his name was. Forgot to write it down, sorry, but it doesn't matter because Ashton Vuitton won anyway in this 1-star match. And then we had a match that most people came for because we had an ROH superstar, Jimmy Jacobs. He calls himself the Zombie Princess or something like that, versus Eric Wright. And Jimmy Jacobs ends up winning this match, but I gotta say, I would rather not see Jimmy Jacobs come back. He was a nice guy and everything. He even signed, if you watch OWO Fan 19, he signed my friend Josh James's WSX DVD because he was part of WSX, if you guys remember Wrestling Society X. It was a MTV wrestling program for a while, but he seemed like a nice guy, but in the ring he just seemed like he was really there to get a check, and I thought it was a pretty horrible match. And I gotta say, I don't think it was Eric Wright's fault, because I've seen Eric Wright wrestle before, and Eric Wright always puts on a great show, even if he's not feeling up to the task. But like I said, I don't really want to see Jimmy Jacobs again, because I hate the guys that just come in for a check and they're like, whatever, yeah, I'll take this small indie wrestling company's money. So the lead into this next match, the grappler comes out and talks a whole bunch of smizzy smack, and basically tells us to call Eric Baden grappler number 3, and starts talking about the Wrecking Crew and that there might be a new member in the future if Mr. Wrestling Jonas Albert Robinson can prove himself, and I guess if he would join the Wrecking Crew, then he would probably be grappler number 4. Still not sure where number 2 went. Not even sure if there was a number 2. I just think that Grappler in his old age is getting senile and can't count, and probably doesn't even know he's getting ripped off on his social security checks. But the next match was Jonas Albert Robertson and Eric Baden, aka Grappler number 3, taking on Travis, can't remember the guy's last name, and Wade by God Hess. And it went the way anybody would expect. There was a whole lot of cheating from the Wrecking Crew, or I guess you could say the Wrecking Crew without their usual second member. But this was It was a 1.5 star match, and the Wrecking Crew, or Jonas Albert Robinson and Grappler number 3, ended up taking out Wade Baga Hess and some guy named Travis. It was a 1.5 star match in my opinion. So I'm going to go on record here and say House of Hess is no more in WCWC, since Nate Andrews hasn't really been teaming with Wade Baga Hess in tag team matches. So I guess you could say a former member of House of Hess, Nate Andrews, and Tko Cody Smith take on the Amerikan Guns, Ethan HD, and Mike Santiago. And before this match, oh, I should mention, this was a tag team title match. Got my ECW tag team title. Miss the ECW. The original, not the crappy WWE remix. But anyway, before the match, the opportunists Amerikan Guns end up beating the holy hell out of Nate Andrews and Cody Smith. And of course, when you beat down your opponents before a match starts, you're going to end up retaining your tag team titles. And I love the Amerikan Guns, so I gotta say, they might be opportunists, but they damn sure know how to keep their tag team titles. And I'm proud of you guys. And this was a solid 2-star match, and Mike Santiago ended up making TKO Cody Smith tap out. Next, the WCWC World Heavyweight title is on the line as Duggan, challenges Darin Corbin, aka Skittles, as everybody's been calling him. I'm pretty sure my crew of people started that one. So get ready to wrestle the rainbow, chase the rainbow. And like I said, I wouldn't forget you this time, Corbin. Love you, Ginger Snap. Anyway, he ends up retaining his title, but at first he did win this match, but then the ref seen the brass knuckles that he supposedly used to take out Danny Duggan, and then the ref reversed the decision and Danny Duggan wins. But like everybody knows, in a DQ, unless there's a special stipulation, you can't get the title. But so that means my man Ginger Snap, Mr. Skittles, aka Darin Corbin, Corbin ends up winning this match. In my opinion, since he retained his title, I guess you could say he won it. And it was a solid 2.5 star match. So the WCWC crowd has been waiting for this rivalry match to finally happen after former WWE star Matt Striker, the teacher, or whatever the hell you want to call him, ended up turning his back on Gangrel and making Gangrel lose his WCWC title to, I believe it was Mr. Skittles there. But Gangrel from from WWE as well, used to be part of the Brood. The Vampire Warrior ends up winning this match, 3.5 stars. Holy shit, that is a great rating from me. As everybody knows, it is hard as hell to get a 3-star rating from me, even above 3-star rating from me. Still haven't given a 5-star rating, but like I said, and then at the end of this, Gangrel extends his hand and tries to say, let's bygones be bygones to Matt Striker, but then Matt Striker, being a douche, uppercuts him right in the balls. And this was also what they call a Salem death match, so there was a lot of fans up out of their seats trying to see what's going on. The camera guys were having a hard time keeping up with everything. It was a great match. I would love to see this rivalry continue in WCWC. Like I said, Gangrel ends up picking up the win against Matt Striker, and Matt Striker bitches out at the end and decides that he wants the Vampire Warrior as a rival. So what did I rate West Coast Wrestling Connections January 5th, 2014 event, their first event of the 2014 year? Well, I talked this over with my good friend Josh James and JT, and I also talked it over with some of the AWF alumni, Attitude Wrestling Federation, and some guys from the TGC, the Great Connection. And we all decided, it sounded like the general decision was 2 stars was this event. And I gotta say, I know it sucks to get 2 stars, but 2 stars is pretty solid. I mean, look at WWE, they usually don't even get that much. But if it wasn't for Jimmy Jacobs and Eric Wright match and the Austin Baton and the big something or other match, you probably would have got 2.5, maybe even 3 stars, because holy crap, those last 2 matches were the shit. Anyway, I am Chris Helix, and you have been watching Future Wrestling Observer.